Well, good morning. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Rev Lee. We're here each and every day exploring life, looking at questions. And today, my topic is there's always balance. No matter what happens, no matter what the occasion, no matter what the experience, there's always balance. There has to be. You see, we live in a world of contrast. We live in a world of contrast so that we can experience balance, and that's the way it is. But here's the key thing. It only gets really crazy when you don't understand that you can come back to balance, and balance is your natural state. It's a state of love. It's a state of the divine. It's a state of being able to be in the observer role and witnessing things without the emotional attachment to that. I was reminded of that early this morning. I got a text from a friend of mine who let me know that a friend of ours made her transition at 4:45 this morning. A vibrant, beautiful, magnificent, powerful woman who had such an impact on so many lives, was a congressional aide in the 60s during the civil rights movement and all of those movements, war against Vietnam, all of that, was a huge activist and participant in that. This woman had a personality that was vivacious. Her name was Dottie Gandy. And I think about it, and I think about the impact she had on my life. And I said, oh, there was such good there. And there was contrast. There was contrast. There always is. And it's interesting that one of the things that I teach and I believe is that when the body and the mind are no longer serving the soul releases the body and mind so it can continue to go on. So here's the contrast. You're going to love what you do, and there's going to be things you don't love that you do. There's balance. If you're feeling really, really, really depressed and anxious, it's because you haven't seen the other side. You haven't found the balance. And it's to find the balance. Zoe says, my dad died a year ago this New Year's Day, and I've been dealing with a lot of emotions about both my parents. Last night, I decided I was going to focus on my parents during this morning meditation. How did I do that, Zoe? How did I know in this morning's meditation to focus on releasing whatever memories are holding us back from our mom and our dad? Because they were the primary influences in our lives, and the emotions are so deeply buried that we have to deal with them. We have to find the balance. Here's something about life. Everyone, no matter who they are, is doing the best they can. Now, you may not like what they're doing. It may not be in alignment with what you want to experience. But I'll tell you what, if it's really negative, find the positive balance. You may not be able to see it at this moment, but it's there. And it may not occur for time. Some of the things that happened to me when I was being brought up by my mom and dad, I couldn't understand. How could this be good? How could this be good? Now here I am, a grandfather, and the blessings are showing themselves because of who I am and how I'm being in this world at this time, and the way I impact lives by just being me. You see, the greatest gift that you can give the world is to just be you. And here's what you're going to give the world. You're going to give the world the high, and you're going to give the world the low of you. You're going to give them a contrasting experience, because let's face it, you are contrast. If you weren't contrast, you wouldn't be in this body. You wouldn't be in this mind. You wouldn't be alive today, because you would be pure balance, which is there's no experience. You're nothing. You're everything. Do you get what I'm saying there? Without contrast, there is nothing. In everything, without contrast, there is nothing. There's nothing to experience. It's only in the contrast that we're able to have the experience of life. I truly believe we came into this life to feel. What are you denying yourself? What feelings are you holding back? You're here to feel them and then let them go. You're here to experience them and then let them go. And life is always about greater and greater and greater experiences and greater and greater and greater feelings. The key to coming back to balance is to let them go. The highs as well as the lows. My favorite mantra, affirmation, that I actually had engraved inside my wedding ring to remind me of one simple truth. This too shall pass. No matter what it is, it will pass. It will move on. Why? Because that's the nature of life. But when we hold on to the past, we hold on to a memory and we won't let it go, now we're setting ourselves up for depression, for pain, for anxiety. The second we let it go, we can be in the now. And here's the key. In the now, there's balance. But we want to live in the past, or we want to live in the future, or we can't really live. So it's an artificial construct. It's actually a make-believe land, because the past, once it's done, doesn't exist anymore. And the future, it hasn't happened, so it doesn't exist. The only moment existing is me right now talking to you and you hearing and watching me. That's the only moment exists. Nothing else about you is alive and well. It doesn't exist. It's this energy exchange that you and I are going through that is fully alive and well and existing. Do you get that? And what we're doing is there's a constant energy moving around. Whatever that energy is, when you're with that energy in that moment, that's the greatest place you can be. Be in that energy, happy, sad, bored, excited, whatever it is, be in it, understand it, and then ask the question, what's this energy telling me? Is it telling me I'm not growing and I need to step into the unknown and become a greater me? Or have I stepped too far into the unknown? That's a possibility too. Sometimes we've got to be able to discern how much can we step into that we can possibly believe. Maybe it's too far. You see, I've learned in life that it's a journey of moment by moment, step by step. And when you're in the moments and you're in the steps, find time to be in balance. The greatest method I know is to be fully present and listening when someone's speaking, or to be fully present when you're speaking your words and realize don't speak them to be right or wrong, speak them to share. But the most important way to find balance is to be still and know here I am. And that happens in meditation. That's why we do meditation at Agape every morning at 7 a.m. on Zoom. And a lot of you are a part of that. Some of you aren't. If you want to join, the Zoom link is there at agapespiritualcenter.com on the calendar. You're welcome to join. For me, it's one of the highlights of my day. I know people in meditation, through meditation, that I've never met in person. Yet I know their soul is beautiful and perfect and complete. And I know in those moments of meditation that we find balance in one way or another. So remember, it's the aftermath of a holiday, in between another holiday. Can you find balance? And when you find balance, you find inner peace. And when you find inner peace, you find love. Know that if no one says it to you, I'll start. I love you and I accept you just like you are. Be you, but make it a great you today. Until next time, aloha.